Okay, I'm going to call the Building and Grounds Committee meeting to order. The first item on the agenda is to continue the discussion of the surplus property that adjoins Sally's. Sally, Sean, are you going to talk to us about that or?
Yeah, so this is the continuation from the last meeting. There's a little bit of confusion. We want to look at a few things. We met with the building and grounds. Everybody got down there to look at the property to kind of review and discuss it further. I do think Tim has an update on one related item to that.
Nolan asked me to reach out to the Clarks, who were the donors of the property to the city. It was conveyed, no strings attached, but he thought it would be the polite thing to do to contact them to say, hey, we're taking that property you gave us, declaring it surplus, maybe selling it at sealed bids to see what their feelings or thoughts were. I spoke with Patty Clark, who the property had passed to, along with her two children, by inheritance. They asked for an audience with me rather than a telephone discussion. And they're coming in this Thursday morning at 11. And I'm going to have a conversation with them, which I'll be happy to share.
So do they have a problem with us selling? Do they have a problem with us selling?
Do I have a problem?
No, do they?
I don't know. That's what I'm going to find out.
Okay.
Well, we met down there, Carrie and I did, and
I went there too.
and we kind of were the ones that were talking about, if I had given land that I would say they're just going to sell our land we gave them. So we thought that was a good idea to talk to them just to make sure we didn't want to hurt their feelings. They've been such a good citizens over the years to Warren County. But the property does look like it would be okay to me. I mean, I struggled with that at first until I got down there to look at it. It does seem.
I haven't been on the property when they donated it. The city didn't have a use for it at the time. And Sally's Alley is large in that particular area. Dr. Bigby apparently had communicated with the Clarks and suggested that it might be a piece of the Riverwalk proper or parking area or whatever. And that's as much as I know, and that's all, of course, your side. But I will meet with them on Thursday, and I will be happy to report back to the board what their feelings and thoughts are on the issue.
That's good with me. So I guess we just take no action tonight. So
I would just defer
Table it
to the next
until-
committee meeting.
okay, we'll just defer that to the next committee meeting. Do I need motions? No.
No.
Okay. Is there anything else to come before building and grounds? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned.
Well, you'll be here in a little while. Maybe speak to that.
Thanks. Because if I hear that.
Speak proposal for changing the pool hours.
Yes, so thank you. So Katie Smart and I sat down. We're already working on the pool, and we sat down and we're looking at numbers, looking at our budget numbers. And while we were doing that, we were discussing last season and how it went. But what our concern is our pool lights. As most of you know, we have I think 6 poles around the deck, and we have 28 lights in the water. Over the past 20 years, those lights, we've replaced several, but we're down to actually having only 13 that are, we have 28. I think we have 13 that are out of the 28. They've gotten expensive over the past few years. But they are selling an LED light that comes sealed. It doesn't have a gasket. And we've purchased one. We've had it in the pool now for I think about 4 to 5 years, and it's still burning. It's an LED. We would love to transition over to LED entirely, but the purpose of this meeting tonight was just to discuss our hours of operation. Without jumping from slide to slide, in a nutshell, what we're looking at is we're open 10 to 6, Monday through Saturday, and 1 to 6 on Sunday. We offer pool parties from 6:30 to 8:30. It starts getting dark about that time, around 8:30. So we would like to propose going back to 10 to 5 for the pool to be open Monday through Saturday, and 1 to 5 on Sunday. With that being said, we would then open up pool parties at 6, and we would run till 8. If you do look at my our slide presentation, we were open 78 days of operation in 2023. I have a little graph in there. I think it's like page 3, but you can see that when we open up at 10 a.m., we kind of take a dip around noon, and then around 1 o'clock we spike again, and then it really starts to fall off right up until about 5 o'clock. From 5 to 6, typically folks are packing up. They've been there all day and they're planning on leaving. We do have those 10-minute breaks that we've got each day that we blow people out to get them out, reapply sunscreen, check swim diapers, make sure we check the bottom of the pool for safety purposes. It also gives our lifeguards an opportunity to kind of refresh and regroup. They've had their eyes on the water all day. But in one of our slides here, you can see in that 5 to 6 hour, this is both concessions and pool admissions. You can see our total of what we brought in was $3,186.15 over 78 days, which averages $40.85. We run 10 guards at the pool. It takes 10 guards to run the pool a day. Typically, we were doing a double shift, a split shift. We're thinking about changing that up a little bit this year. But with that being said, with those 10 guards and the concession staff, we also, if you look at the last slide, we're losing money for that last hour the pool's open from 5 to 6 for those 78 days. But we also, if we are able to close at 5 and start pool parties at 6, one thing we would like to do to try to recoup some of that money is to offer pool parties for both Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We did about 18 parties last year at $450 a party. So that adds up. And we do have parties that we turn down because we just don't have the time slots a lot of times and the staffing to meet those needs. So we would like to try to offer that this year, but due to safety and the lighting of the pool, that's the whole reason we were asking for the hours to be adjusted.
I think it's a good idea. And I like that you're paying attention to that, and you know where you're making money and where you're not. That's a clear loser. So I thank you for paying attention to that, because
Yes,
that,
sir.
watch the pennies and the dollars take care of themselves. So that's a good thing.
Well, there are some other things to take into consideration. I'd just like to bring up is, I think the pool lights, that's adamant that has to be replaced. I just think it sounds bad if something else were to happen, that somebody say that pool didn't even have lights that work in the pool. That bothers me a lot, but also just don't forget that we went up on admission prices quite a bit. We went up on concession quite a bit as well. We tripled the cost for a swim team, which had its reasons for chemicals and things like that for that whole month. I think we went up on pool passes. So having said that, that pool is very crowded. Its capacity, I think, is 800.
That's correct.
So that time of day is a lot less people, thank goodness, where there are some smaller children, there are some families, not many, but there is some downtime for people to kind of enjoy a quieter pool. So that's all I wanted to bring to it.
It's also whatever hour it is, your last hour is gonna be your least amount of money that comes in, if it's 4 to 5 or 5 to 6. I mean,
Absolutely.
because nobody's gonna come in and out before we close.
That's right.
So I mean, that number's a little bit misleading, man. The concessions are not, I mean, that's a good point there. You give me any lap swimmers from 5 to 6?
And we've done that. Again, that's one reason I think in the years past, and I would have to go back and look at when we changed that. But we initially started out 10 to 5 and we adjusted 10 to 6. We've opened up for lap swim at 6 a.m. We've tried a lot of different things. But we typically did. We are going to have water aerobics during that last hour, or not that last hour, but in that 5 to 6 time frame. We're still going to try to offer water aerobics, but we only have to have 2 guards. So we're cutting down that staff immediately, and we're still able to offer that evening class, which I think is twice a week.
Yes.
Twice a week. So and we offer our morning classes already that Jolene had taught. So that's 4 days a week. So
That's at 9.
yes, that's correct. 9 a.m. before we open the pool. But to your point, Steve, we have had a few lap swimmers during that time. But not many.
There's not many in the morning or the afternoon,
Correct.
but there are some.
Right.
And yeah.
And we try to keep lanes open during the day, during normal business hours for them to come and swim. So the guards do a really good job about saying, hey, these 2 lanes are for swimming only. And the guards try to keep the general public out of those lanes so they can swim during normal business hours. So.
Any other questions for Justin?
Just a safety issue. Did you say that several of the lights in the pool are out?
Yes, sir.
What percentage?
We have 28 lights. There are 13 that are out. 13 total lights in the pool that are out.
That are out?
Yes, sir.
That's a little disturbing from a safety standpoint.
We did have some discussion about this at a previous meeting, I think last year, and that was
We
with
did.
Mark Kell, but I don't really know if anything ever really got
It
done.
didn't. I called Justin about that today. I said, I thought we had dealt with the lights.
I know we spoke about it, but I don't know if there was a resolution of that.
It got sidetracked to a lawnmower.
Well, we had money in our budget this year to do a tile. We did the tile project on the
Yes.
tile for the zero entry. So it is an item that is going to be coming up during our budget process. It is something that we really need to do and want to do. It is time consuming because all of the wires are run through a conduit that was put in 20 years ago. And so we're doing 1 light at a time. Each light is on a breaker with 3 other lights. So, but we've got all that figured out. It's just paying for them. We're talking about $20,000 to $21,000 just for those other 27 lights that we need to replace. So but it is our focus. And
But we just have to get 13, or do we have to do them all at
no,
one time?
I want to convert them all to LED.
okay.
I want to get them all the incandescents out. It's a 500-watt bulb. And the reality is if you take one out, you're to replace the gasket, the bulb, do it all, put it right back. What we're finding is those lights are staying in the water all year. And that's not a bad thing. But if one gets water in it, the other 3 don't work. So we may have lights that actually work, but because one is leaking, the others are working. So if we go to an LED, it's a completely sealed globe fixture. There's no chances of that. We basically just plug and play and it's ready to go. So we'd like to change them all out.
Well, I think we don't have a choice.
So we'll just put that in our next budget.
Yes.
Yes,
The
sir.
next budget.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Cause that's a after pool season repair, right?
Yes, sir.
But that's why the parties didn't go so late,
Correct.
was because everyone determined that the pool got a little dim that late.
Yeah, it's a fact, the Red Cross lost a child during swim lessons because the child had gone underwater next to the wall of the pool, and the wall cast shade. So there's dark pockets if you don't have uniform light. That's, I mean, it happened.
Especially in this pool, it's deep and it's big, and there are places that are really far away from the side. Yeah, it's a concern for sure. Yes, the budget.
I'll make a motion to approve Justin's request to change the pool hours as presented.
So we have a motion. Do I hear a second? I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
I'm opposed, no, yes. I mean, no.
Ayes have it. Motion passes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any more business for Parks and Rec? Thank you all. Meeting adjourned.
Ricky?
Okay, what this is I had actually asked Frank to reach out to Tinsley Asphalt to get us a price on repaving that parking lot, which is in terrible shape over there at the 202 Bale Street. And seeing that we had put money in the budget and we were gonna have some extra left over on that roof project. I got them to give us a proposal on replacing that whole parking lot. And that includes the milling and the pavement, everything was 192,930. It's roughly 113,000 square feet. So seeing that our roof's gonna wind up somewhere around $540,000 time it's said and done, so. It does give us quite a bit left over, so I thought since we could piggyback off this bid. That they had get Frank for the paving, it might not be a bad idea to get some pricing on it, so. I just like to try to get that done if possible, take care of what you got.
Questions?
Is there a
Comments?
I haven't seen the parking lot. Is there a picture?
I don't have a picture of it,
It's pretty bad. I mean,
It's-
have you not been over there?
Well, I haven't taken note of parking lot.
I can get you some pictures sent up to you. Welcome to
I'm
come
just
by.
drive over there. I didn't today.
There's a lot of it where they've done where they put everything on the roof, had the lift, it's just falling apart, breaking apart, so. There's a lot of parking lot over there.
Yeah.
Is this, this money is coming out of the budget cycle we're in right now, is that
It is.
correct?
True,
Okay.
yes.
Anything else? I need a motion to pave the parking lot.
And to recommend it to the full board.
Excuse me, to recommend it to the full board. I need a motion.
I'll recommend it to the full board, to accept this bid from Tinsley to pave the parking lot at 202 Bell Street.
Do I have a second? Second. A second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Any other business,
That's
Ricky?
it, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, then we are adjourned.